Okay, everybody, welcome to the Spider-Man Homecoming review. I am trying another one of these live streams, seeing what the quality looks like. It's all about trying to test things out, right? Spider-Man Homecoming, and at the end, I'm going to get to the Justice League trailer. God. All right, Spider-Man Homecoming. Hey, 5 stars, and I'm going to go ahead and right out the bat, and for Marshall Fists, I'm gonna give it 4 fists. That's not bad for a comic book movie. This movie was awesome. It is the perfect Spider-Man movie for people who like Spider-Man comics. If you don't love Spider-Man comics, this movie is gonna have areas where it drags or is campy or it's you're wondering, is this a high school movie or is this an action movie? But if you're a fan of either the Marvel formula, the different stages where everything's playing in together into each other, or you're a fan of the comics, this movie was just unbelievable. It hit every note, left you wanting a little bit more. And I don't say that often about movies this long, that I could sit there for another half hour just hoping that more showed up. I remember one scene where he's, spoiler, he's at the Avengers' new place, and you're looking, you're like, am I going to see Vision walk by? And at that level of detail, they have done a good job of wrapping this thing, and now Spider-Man is enmeshed in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Bravo, Marvel and Sony. Coming together, getting over yourselves. I remember 5 years ago, 6 years ago, everybody was saying this was impossible, it would never happen, what a shame. Frankly, this is like what I'd like to see happen with the Fantastic Four and with X-Men. X-Men was a good run. A lot of plot holes, probably for a franchise, probably the most plot hole-ridden franchise I could think of. But I enjoyed it. I'm glad it's over, and I'd like to see the X-Men come home. This whole enhanced thing is just nonsense. And I would like to see the Fantastic Four done. I know it'd be a third time, but so was Spider-Man, and third time's a charm in this one. It was spectacular, and you almost wish they had called it the Spectacular Spider-Man, but they didn't. They just went with Spider-Man Homecoming. The references were really great. The crossovers were well done. Sometimes, Robert Downey Jr. playing Iron Man, he does it so well because he is Iron Man at this point. I think maybe he was just kind of popping in for some of these scenes. But the final scene where he's there, you could tell he's 100% on board. He's doing his job in portraying Iron Man. He is Mr. Avenger. And I really even enjoyed seeing Captain America throughout the film, a little sprinkled in. And you gotta stay for the final credits, okay? Stay the whole time. It's funny, it's worth it. Problems for the movie, it's still kind of hard believing that Marissa Tomei is Aunt May. I have a problem with them not mentioning Uncle Ben. It's almost like they're going out of their way. I thought one of the big problems with Amazing Spider-Man when they rebooted was that you could feel in that first Amazing Spider-Man how much they were trying not to be Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. And in this case, you could feel how much they're trying not to mention the Uncle Ben story, which I know nobody wants another origin story. No one needs another origin story, but you can say his name. You can mention what happened. It doesn't have to be this kind of un-elephant in the room, if that's such a thing. I also thought that the sidekick, look, he's funny. Okay, and some of the other characters are funny and interesting, and you don't have too much of the Breakfast Club going on. But I also thought that they kind of maybe made the story drag on a little bit, or they were kind of an annoying distraction. But hey, if I was a teenager and I was in high school, I would probably think it was cool. I would think it was, more interesting that they include this other kid for a while. What else about the movie? Oh, well, let's talk about the villain. The Vulture is not my favorite villain in Spider-Man. I put it right there with Green Goblin if I had to compare the two movies, the very first Tobey Maguire and the Green Goblin in this, I think it's a strange villain choice. I mean, the elephant in the room here is, why in the world are we not seeing a good Venom story? I can't seem to figure that out. And I also am wondering, are we ever going to see Kingpin and Spider-Man come together? Because actually the Kingpin and Spider-Man are huge enemies. The Vulture is a good choice, and I liked the portrayal. I mean, Michael Keaton, come on, guys. I have no idea why he continues to like to be winged creatures in movies. This is his third different winged creature costume guy. He's pulling it off really well. He's showing his age, but I think he did just a fine job. He's Michael Keaton. I mean, how can you not like the guy? He's amazing. The plot twist later on, I am liking it. It took me by surprise, and that doesn't happen very often. So I'm going to give overall the plot of this, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I didn't think it was an amazing plot. I thought that the story was a Spider-Man story, and the way that things happen to Peter all the time, even the little jokes, Flash Thompson, which was an interesting way that they did some of these characters, MJ and Flash and etc. They've totally diversified, and they've gone on the panel. Yeah, it's cool, totally cool. And the Flash character being a pretty bunch of total douche, he was I think it was pretty funny. I thought it was exactly what a Spider-Man story should be, and it felt just the right. And you realize too, he's playing a 14-year-old or 15-year-old. And I think it's appropriate. There are a couple things that are family appropriate, maybe not there. But, if your kid's over 9, 10 years old, it shouldn't be a big deal. There were a couple times I wish that my 7-year-old had not seen that. But the vast majority of the movie was much more age appropriate than I've ever seen in these comic book movies. So, I'm going to give that an A overall. So, yeah, Spider-Man Homecoming, you've got to see it. I'm going to see it again. I might even see it 3 times. Who knows? So let's talk about the other thing that came out, the Justice League trailer. I am going to call this, guys. I called it very well with BVS, and then I called it really well with Wonder Woman. I said BVS was not going to be good. I said Wonder Woman was going to be pretty good, even though people were saying, I don't know, the Wonder Woman, they may have lied again in these trailers. No, Wonder Woman was a great movie. This Justice League, I hate to disappoint you, it's not going to be good. The action, the cinematography, the colorization, the dialogue, it's looking very stinky. I'm going to say that it's going to be in the 30% level on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, yeah, quote me on it. It's on video. But I don't have any faith in it. So I'm going to lower my expectations to about under me, so somewhere down there. I just don't think it's going to be any good, folks, and I wouldn't get too upset about it. My son is going, well, it has Batman in it. Yeah, but that's not everything. I mean, if it's not going to have Green Lantern and it's not going to have Superman, I think we all think that Superman's going to show up at the end, but throughout the movie, the interplay between him and Hal Rogers, that's such a huge part. So I'm just not going to have much expectations for this movie, and if I were you, I wouldn't either. Okay. I don't have anything else to review right now. There's a whole lot of other movies that are coming out I haven't made to, and I will do my best to try and catch up with them and to see those movies. But guys, I have no idea if they're any good. I still haven't seen the Pirates movie. I haven't seen the Transformers movie. It's hard to get excited about these movies this year. I mean, it just seems like they're pumping out mostly garbage. It's nice to see that Wonder Woman was good. It's nice to see that Spider-Man Homecoming was good. I even enjoyed The Mummy. I thought it was entertaining, but honestly, it's just another, generally speaking, creative idea just to reboot a massively successful franchise. I know what they're going for, but there's not a whole lot of things out there. That being said, I got to go to some drive-ins and do some ratings, so maybe I'll go and see Transformers. You all stay real, keep happy, keep cool, right? It's really hot. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments section, and you have a great day.